Welcome to the first session. So today's session, I will walk you through entire journey, how certified in cybersecurity works, how LearnCyberSec would help you to acquire required knowledge so that you can crack the exam. So the exam support, who all are the people involved in this process, how long roughly take to clear this exam. So without further delay, let's get started. All right, as we have agenda here, first we'll talk about me, about mentor, what I'm doing, why am I doing this, in short summary. Then I will briefly introduce the course, what is ISC squared, and why we need to complete certified in cybersecurity program. Then exam overview, as this course is not just like you just join video calls and or weekend calls and just like that you can't complete. You need to prepare and you need to appear for the exam, then only you can get the international standard certified in cybersecurity certificate. So there would be an effort behind yourself. Then I will explain preparation strategy. There are proven methods. Each individuals comes with unique requirement. So one training may not fit for everyone. I will explain how you can prepare for this exam. Next, we'll talk about domain 1, which is first chapter. So domain 1 will start today, but next session, next weekend also will cover half of the domain 1, because domain 1 is a bit lengthy. So I will try to cover it today as much as possible. Rest of the content will cover it on next weekend. All right, who am I? So my name is Mohammed Ismail. People call me Ismail. I have 11 years network experience. Network and cybersecurity experience. I have worked in multiple companies, include HCL, ForcePoint, Symantec, and currently working at a company called Zscaler, where I am leading secure browser deployment and implementation. The below given is my website where you can find my LinkedIn profile. The recently last month I have received an award for doing various training initiatives. This is one of the initiative, but I do various cyber scam related training and awareness campaign. So one of the organization recognized me and given me the award at Delhi last month. Why am I doing this? So simple, just help others. There is no marketing, there is no course or anything I'm selling. It's pure help. If someone asks me, bro, you have IT experience, can you refer me for a job? Certainly I cannot refer you, because as you came from college or a fresh graduate, I may not able to help. But when you have international certificate and you have proper stream where you would like to apply, then I may help you to get the job. So the reason I'm doing is I'm helping mostly freshers in this call, mostly fresh college students. My courses are targeted. In case you are working professional, you joined this course, no worries. You can start cybersecurity, you can better at work, or you can improve yourself. So that way cybersecurity certification would help. So just giving back to community is the primary perspective for this course. So nothing else. Okay, I will not keep your contact or asking you to buy anything. As long as the course is completed, you completed the certification, you can start your journey towards identifying the right track to get the job. All right. So next, first I need to be eligible, right? So I just put my certificate. I hold this ISC squared CC certificate from last year. So I know how it works, how the exam would be, how I can, how I prepared. So those experience I can share and inspire other students to take that up. So you may ask about, why am I doing this? I just answered, I'm just answering my inner call. What am I giving back to community? So this way I'm giving back to community. I can train. I have 11 years of experience. What shall I do with that experience? Maybe I can write a book, I can write a blog, or I can share my experience, but the reachability is less. But when I give constructive program, let's say 6 weekends, you are putting effort. You may go to anywhere in the weekend, but you guys attending this session, right? So the effort you have put. Similarly, I put my effort. Maybe I prepared last 5 hours to deliver this session. So there would be a preparation for me as well. So we join together and doing something. That outcome may come itself. You no need to worry about whether am I clearing, whether am I going to clear this exam or not, which you no need to worry about. If you trust the process, the outcome will follow. That's called learner's mindset. Let's see that. Probably let me mute everyone. All right. So the learner's mindset, if you put effort, dedication, and learning, you can improve specific intelligence. The specific intelligence, not only cybersecurity. Let's say you want to become a pilot. You put your effort, dedication, and right learning, you become a pilot. So that's called a learner's mindset. So first, before start anything, you need to understand your mindset. Like I'm committed. The effort I'm going to put next 6 weekends, I'm going to crack this exam, right? That effort, you need to put that effort and dedication. The dedication, maybe first call you joined, second call you may not, due to XYZ reason, but you can still on the track. I will provide the recordings, I will provide necessary supportive materials to prepare. Then you can learn the certification and you can, keep on the track. So the learner's mindset is very important, because before you start any exam or any preparation, you need to set your mind. You are going to trust that process. I'm going to participate, I'm going to prepare, I will give that exam, whether pass or fail, that will follow itself. If you prepare well, no chance, definitely you will pass. Next, for working professionals, as you may have linked to any one particular domain for long years, maybe you become a support engineer, you become a manager, or you become an IT professional for long years, you never ever sit and learn anything fully. Maybe you start, then you drop. So that problem most of the working professionals might have. For them, since we are falling under weekend course plan, so that may help you to keep on track. Weekly, you can prepare whenever you have time, and you can continue the journey for 7-6 weekends. Then you can appear for the exam. All right. So now we'll talk about how this works, right? As I have mentioned in some of the poster, I'm going to teach you about how to claim the $200 worth of certification from ISC Squared. So this entire journey involved, there are 4 key people. The first one is you. You are the one going to prepare and appear for the exam. So you is important here, because you are important. Next, LearnCyberSec, the initiative I am doing through this platform is responsible under me. I am preparing the material or content or helping you with the practicing questions, that I take care. Next, third one is important, the ISC Squared. Who is ISC Squared? They are international non-profit organization. They develop multiple certification courses. Almost 2.5 million cybersecurity professionals across the globe, they are certified and registered under ISC Squared. So they are the one, they are developing the certification program for entire world. If you take any certification, for example, office building security or web security or AI security, if you take any security related domain in computer or enterprise field, ISC Squared has their visibility or appearance, or they may have developed some of the principles to secure that particular system. So ISC Squared, what they did as part of their 1 million cybersecurity professional program, they are offering $200 worth of certification and training completely free of cost. Most of them don't know how to claim or how to use that certification. That's the piece I'm going to explain in this call, how to claim $200 worth of certification. Then Pearson Exam Center. As ISC Squared is non-profit organization, they don't have presence in all across the globe. So what they did, they tied up with the Pearson Exam Center to get that exam. So you can't go to ISC Squared to give the exam. So you need to find where is Pearson Exam Center near my hometown, or if you are part of Karnataka, you may find the center in Bangalore. If you are part of Tamil Nadu, you may find the center in Chennai. If you are part of North Delhi, Mumbai, each cities Pearson Exam Center available. So you need to enroll ISC Squared program, then complete the modules, appear, register for the exam. You need to visit Pearson Exam Center to give the exam. So that's how the journey starts. You are at 1 now. 6 weekends will complete the course. Then you need to register for exam. Then you need to go to Pearson Exam Center, appear for the exam. So far, you are able to follow me, or am I going fast? Take the chat and confirm you are clear, or you have any questions. All right, looks like I'm getting a lot of positive outcome, because at times when I interact with student, they may get confused. Yeah. All right, very good. Then we'll move on. All right, now I put all this process into one table. What is this table? You are already here. You are the one going to prepare. You are the hero of this journey. So you are going to prepare and you are going to give that shot. You are going to clear that exam, right? You. Second, LearnCyberSec, the initiative I'm doing, that will continue next 6 weekends. ISC Squared, the website given, you can go to ISC Squared, you need to register yourself, you need to fill some basic details, where you are, what you are doing, your address, primarily your name. You need to give your proper name as per ID proof. As we all from India, maybe Aadhaar card, PAN card, credit card, debit card. There are 2 identity proofs you need to carry while attempting to give the exam, because the exam center would validate 2 ID proofs. So 2 ID proof should match your name. Many students stuck in this process. I have that experience. People prepare and go for exam. They took only 1 ID card. They forgot to take another one. That is a major, before exam they made that trouble and they get that tension. Some of them not allowed to enter. Some may go back home and take the another ID card. That unnecessary problem we need to avoid. So that's why I'm clearly stating all the first time takers, make sure you are taking 2 ID proof. The ID proof should match the name you have given in the ISC Squared website. So make sure to give correct name. In if you have initial front or back, make sure that is how your driving license or PAN card or Aadhaar card appearing your name. So that is very, very important. Next, exam center. As many students came from rural background where they cannot find the centers nearby, what they can do, they need to plan accordingly. For example, if you are a rural area in Karnataka, you may need to travel to Bangalore city to give the exam. If you are rural in north side, you may need to travel Mumbai or Delhi, right? So you need to plan accordingly your schedule. Let's say you have exam on Monday, you need to reach that city a day before, not Monday onwards. Monday only, because you can't reach Monday and find the exam center. You reach Sunday and take rest, proper rest, then go to Monday, give the exam. Exam may take 2 hours to complete, then immediately you will get the result. So Pearson Center, before registering the exam, you can find the Pearson Center, the list of Pearson Center available. If anyone joined from other nation like Dubai or Saudi, this, you can find the centers in respective headquarters, maybe Dubai or Riyadh or Qatar, you may identify. So So that way you can find the exam center and register while enrolling for the exam. All right. So next I will talk about exam overview. Now so far we have covered about you, about me, Learn CyberSec initiative. Third one, ISC Squared. They are offering that 200 worth of certification and training free of cost. The fourth one is Pearson Exam Center. So keep in mind these four work together to help you to pass the exam. You are the one putting 100% effort to crack the exam. There is no dump, there is no previous question, there is no kind of second practice you can do for this specific exam. The reason is this is called computer adaptive test, CAT exam. What it does, you go and give the exam. First question, if you give wrong answer, it will evaluate you did the wrong answer on the topic. The second question also may be picked from the same topic and different way. So it would validate whether you have prepared or just guessing the answer and trying to pass the question. It won't work that way. So the integration or how the complexity of the exam is well maintained, so you cannot find any reference question. Don't get scammed by any online marketing or advertisement. People help you to pass this kind of exam because ISC Squared is well known organization for tough exams. So you cannot find anything. You may find sample questions or practice questions, but that cannot match 100% same as the exam questions. You may get some idea, but that cannot be true. So don't fall into any of the center or any guys asking you to pay some money to crack the exam. Don't go there, because this exam is completely secure. As you need to go to the exam center, you look at the screen, the image I put to take that vivid imaginary on your brain. This is how the center looks. You go, you are scanned, your things are kept outside, you cannot note down anything. You kept inside, you have to clear the exam within 2 hours. So no way to take any questions out from the center. So you are completely scanned. They may give you a locker to keep your things, maybe the small locker. You can keep your backpack size during the exam, you can keep it. Otherwise, you cannot take anything inside. They completely scan you and before entering into the exam center. This exam, the timing is 120 minutes, 2 hours. You need to complete 100 questions within 120 minutes. So accordingly, you need to give the exam. So I mean the answer selection timing. So you need to practice in advance so that you can complete within the time frame. So exam type is multiple choice questions. They would give you scenario and 4 answers. You need to choose among 4 the right answer. That's how the exam works. Mode in person. It's not remote or online exam. You must visit the center and give the exam. That's why this certification is still stand out in the market. If you have this certificate on your resume will outstand. You may apply for a job. People would recognize you have ISC Squared the badge on your resume will outstand. So you may easily get the job or attracted by employers. For exam center, major cities, all major cities exam center available. You can check that on their website when you are planning. For example, you are in a travel, you need to check whether the exam center available or not. Maybe you have some relatives, you can go there and stay with them and give the exam. Accordingly, you can plan. You can reschedule the exam as well before, I believe, 24 hours. Read the reschedule policy. The acceptable ID proof, I keep reminding, or I keep talk that information about students, because I would like you to stop that mistake. I don't want that happen with any other candidate. Bring 2 ID proof. If you take more than 2, happy, because they would validate and accordingly they would accept the ID proof. Even my case, what happened, I took one of the ID proof that doesn't have my initial. Then I shown another ID proof. So I took 4 or 5 ID proofs like credit card, debit card with my name printed on it. Then I took driving license, Aadhaar card. Among them, they picked 2. So take whatever ID proof you have. If you have only one, make sure you have to create another one. It could be driving license, or it could be, any other proof. You can take it. So that way you can meet the ID proof requirement, because people traveling from urban or local area to the city, suddenly they ask some ID proof, they can't go back and bring that. So your full effort going to be wasted, and at the $200 worth of certification, you cannot reschedule in the last moment, that get cancelled. So this offer only per year one time. If you missed in 2024, 2025 you can take it. If you miss, or if you failed in 2025, you can take it in 2026. So that's how it's working. So year on year it is renewing. In case you failed in past, don't worry, you can take it and utilize the offer in 2025. So next important thing, how to create account, how to register for the exam, how to claim that $200 worth of exam and online training. I put a 5 minutes video in YouTube, maybe for the previous batch, to know how to go to that specific website, how to register, what are the information you need to feed in. So you can watch this link. I will share this after this call with everyone. So you can go to YouTube and watch. This is how the site looks like. You need to create an account. You need to choose your details like first name, middle name, or last name. So according to your ID proof. So fill the details. So actually this ISC squared account, you can keep a short name, but there is another form they would give you for exam where you need to keep the name according to your ID proof. All right. So I don't want to waste time on watching this video, but this video would help you to register, request for the exam, get that certification bundle added to the cart. You can start the online modules. Okay. So my training is just 6 weekend, right? But this, this ISC squared online classes, I mean, they have video modules you need to complete. Next, come to preparation strategy. Preparation strategy, probably, so before I go to preparation strategy, I just quickly check the questions. Probably I take the questions before closing the session. Okay, so I don't want to deviate anyone. So, but I will cover all the questions. You just keep post it on the chat window. So before we go for a break, I will quickly cover the questions. So next, preparation strategy. You need to join the 6 weekend online course. This is not mandatory, but I'm giving you, as a community giveaway. Maybe I may share my experience, as well as I do summarize from the textbook. Where I get the information, I have physical book, and that book I refer, and then I prepare the content for you. So I'm not getting any other online module or course. Full preparation done by myself. So that own experience I am sharing. Plus you have ISC squared website online module. You need to complete all the module before the exam, so that you get their knowledge as well as my knowledge. Both together, you become a strong guy to crack the exam. Now enroll ISC squared CC course. I will share this entire deck that has that YouTube video. You go watch that 5 minutes video. Then you create the account, register for the exam. I mean, you don't need to schedule the exam now. You just enroll. You get 1 year buffer period. If you are registering today, you need to take the exam before next year September. Okay, if you register 27th September today, exam must happen within next year 27th September. So 1 year buffer period they will give, and as soon as you just register, you get access to that free modules, the online video modules, where you can go and watch the ISC squared content. that I highly recommend to watch week on week, slowly complete all 5 modules. Then you join my calls weekend onwards. So that would work, help you to learn all the uh, topics. Then schedule the exam. Once you are comfortable, let's say after 7th weekend, you are comfortable. Yes, I can do it. Or you have completed multiple practice questions. You put a scale on your capability. Let's say out of 100, I can crack all the practice questions 90 or above 90 or above 80. Then you are right to give the exam. You have set your skill level up and you are ready to go for exam. Then you can register exam anytime based on your availability. Then you can appear for the exam. As the centers are having limited seats, all students or entire college mates cannot book the exam on same day. Maybe a plan accordingly. Like if you are going 4 or 5 guys together, then check the date and make sure that the slot is available. Book together on the online one by one the same day or next day. Then travel together and give the exam and come back. So that way the students can go together, but maybe may not be more than 10 or 12, because the exam center might have limited exam slots, because each people sit on the system for 2 hours. So per day maybe 9 hours, 10 hours if the center is functioning. Each system occupied by maybe 5 people per day. So if they have 20 systems, accordingly they can accommodate. They cannot accommodate all the students in one go, right? Next, schedule the exam as per your convenience. Once you are prepared, then you can schedule. After 6 weekends, as much as practice exam you take, so when you take more practice exams, you become you can easily handle any scenario, any security related questions. You can sort out answers one by one. I mean, you can eliminate wrong answers. You can find that right answer quickly. So next, appear for the exam. That's where you need to travel to the Pearson Center. The below image, what I put, the 5 domains, average weight. I mean, this weightage, for example, 100 questions, 2 hours time, right? In 100 questions, 26 questions come from security principle topic. 10 questions comes from business continuity, disaster recovery, incident response concepts, access control concepts 22% you may expect, network security 24%, security operation 18%. In college days, I used to skip last 2 chapters. Only I read 3 chapters and still I could clear the semester exams. But that trick may not work here. The reason is this is called computer adaptive test. If you didn't score enough mark in respective domain, for example, among these 5 domain or 5 chapter, whatever way you call it, if I couldn't score 22% on access control concept, I consider as failed. Okay, so you need to study all the chapters, all 5 chapters. Make sure you have cleared with all the concepts. Otherwise, you cannot clear the exam. The reason I am telling, some people study only 3 domains. They left 2 domains due to time reason or something else. They still go and appear and they fail in that exam. So which we can avoid. Just focus on all 5 domains. It won't be that much complex. You can study continuously. If you study every day 1 hour, you can complete each domain in 3 days, 3 consecutive or 3 continuous days. If you study for 1 hour, you can complete 1 domain. So if you take 5 domain, you need 15 days to complete. But the reason I put 6 weekends, as you have other studies, you have college, you have work for working professionals. You cannot concentrate fully on that exam, right? So for that reason, you can split and you can study every day half an hour, commit. Every weekend, maybe 2 hours you study or 3 hours you study. It depends on your availability. Then you give as much as practice exam, you can crack it. As ISC Squared is giving free of cost, I am giving away to the community. Work together. You are having that certificate completely free of cost. Only the minimum charge, you may need to travel to the exam center. You may be people from outstation. You need to plan your stay accordingly, your relatives, or you need to take a room. That minimum cost you need to pay. Otherwise, this is completely good opportunity to start your career as a young graduates. You can come into international standard certification on your resume, if you think you don't have anything to put on your resume, this is great opportunity. So take that and take that seriously, and plan your schedule and preparation strategy accordingly, and you can crack this exam. All right, so before go to the first domain, let me take the chat. All right, also we hit almost 52 minutes in this call. After taking the questions, I will give you a short break so that you guys get refreshed and come back. Give me a second, I'm having a challenge with the chat window. All right, take the question. This session recording will be provided. Yes, I'm recording this session. Probably tomorrow I will upload this session into the same portal where you where you applied for the course. You can see the video. Then, sir, can I reschedule my exam? I registered on 17th October, but after joining the session, I think it will take more than 70 days for preparation. Yeah, if you don't have work experience, if you are new to cybersecurity, yes, 70 days is very short period. You can reschedule the exam. Go to the Pearson Center, read the reschedule policy. I believe before 24 hours, you can reschedule without any penalty or fine or cost. You can still do that. So you can put roughly 45 days buffer. Then you focus the strategy. So there are students and working professionals, what will happen? They register the exam, then prepare. That is very good strategy because your mind has a dead timeline. Let's say you have put 45 days after you are going to take the exam. You have 45 days time. You specifically focus every day 1 hour, 2 hour, whenever you get free time, you utilize and you try to crack the exam, right? So that's how our human mind works. When you set the deadline or that's the final date, you will prepare. Even college, during college, you may have noticed when just before semester, the previous week, people study hard and they still clear the exam, right? So that way, you register the exam, you have the time, you can prepare continuously and you can crack it. So then, should we have to register for the exam now itself or after 6 session over? Very good question. You must register, but you no need to schedule the exam because scheduling period will be given 1 year. 1 year time they give you. Today if you register 27 September to next year 27 September, they will give the buffer time. Within that period, you can register anytime whenever you are prepared. But I would recommend you can complete 6 weekends course. Then you can register the exam as per your availability or convenient way to go to the center and give the exam. All right, I couldn't read the screenshot. There is a screenshot. Let me see what it is. Okay, he has posted his confirmation window. What is the membership fees? For maintenance fees needs to be paid ISC squared every year. How to collect more CPE? Can CPE will help to reduce any kind of membership maintenance fees? What is the formula for that? All right. So I won't focus. This is for fresh graduates. The reason behind that, as soon as they hold the credential, that is important for fresh individuals or young graduates. For working professionals, you would like to maintain continuous education or continuous learning. The CPE credit matters. To get CPE credits under ISC Squared website, you can join monthly, weekly webinar with your candidate ID. Your CPE scores get added. So you can easily meet that score within 3 years. So you no need to reappear for the exam. Your exam, the credential get renewed. That's how ISC Squared CPE works. But for the fee, once you clear the exam, you may ask you to pay $50 to maintain the credential, that maintenance fee to ISC Squared. That is after clearing the exam. So once you clear the exam, you can put it on your resume for young graduates. So in case you like to join and do more certification from ISC Squared, you would like to maintain the credential, then you can pay the $50 fee and continue. Otherwise, this course will give you enough knowledge about cybersecurity, right? So that is important for a fresh graduate. If you put, I have completed ISC squared, certified in cybersecurity and passed the exam, that's more than enough for young graduates, right? So working professionals, maybe that is not enough. They need to continue the maintain the certification or credentials. For them, pay the $50 fee, then pay for join that CPE sessions through their webinar portals. So do the ISC squared offer any practice test before we take the main examination? ISC squared offers you small practice test. You can understand how the exam really looks like, but that questions may not be enough. Let's say they give you 20 questions, but in exam you may going to face 100 questions, right? So see the difference. You're just practicing 20 questions and you cannot crack the exam. So for what I would recommend, you can go and take as much as practice questions from multiple sources. If you search it in Google certified in cybersecurity practice question, you can easily find many places. All right, I'm having some echo, so I just muted everyone. All right, so now come back to the question. I need to take still few more. All right, so recommend to take 45 days or 2 months time as per your skill level, Abhay, for rescheduling the exam. So plan accordingly. Is the $50 fee annual or one-time fee? It is annual fee to maintain the credential. Also, in case you have planned to take CASSP or any further certification from ISC squared, your annual maintenance fee may increase up to $125 or something. So plan accordingly. So if you are working professional, you have more interest towards ISC squared certification, you would like to do advanced certification other than the free one, your annual fee may increase. Sir, I have only initial S in my Aadhaar card along with my name, and I have Srinivas on my PAN card and DL instead of just yes. That will be a problem. Yes, definitely that will be a problem. For example, if you have, I think you mentioned Aadhaar card along with my name, and I have Srinivas in my PAN card and DL. So if you have PAN card and DL with the same name, go with that name. Otherwise, if you really want to modify the name in Aadhaar card, I think Aadhaar card, there are chances 1 or 2 times you can modify the name. Check with the respective party to correct that name before appearing for the exam. Otherwise, you can explore credit card or debit card with the correct name format. They also accept if your credit debit card the name printed on that card. Read their website, what are the acceptable ID proof for India, and plan accordingly. So, but this case is one of the classic example people in India struggle with, because we have our father name or house name as our initial. Somewhere full name appeared, somewhere initial just appeared. That's major problem. Sorted out before appearing for the exam. So your exam form and the ID proof, the name should match. For example, my name is Mohammed Ismail space E for Echo. All the ID proof, Aadhaar card or driving license, I kept all the names same as Mohammed Ismaili, but in my passport they put surname. My passport is not accepted because passport they keep surname, first name, middle name, right? So that's where the challenge. But I'm maintaining my same name in driving license, PAN card and Aadhaar card. So with that I have completed the exam. So that way you can use any 2 ID proof which has same name format, maybe carry more than 2 or up to 3 to avoid any circumstances during that exam day. So can I use 2 different Gmail ID to book different CC exam for backup if fail? What a great question, Matt. But one thing, when you appear for the exam, your biometric, the palm gets scanned by the machine, so you cannot fool the system. You can register as much as email ID, but you cannot enter because your fingerprint gets scanned during the authentication phase of the exam. You cannot cheat. So I mean the wrong word, cheat. Sorry, but it's not cheat. Like you are trying to appear in a two different way, but unfortunately the human palms can be scanned and registered. So that may create a problem for you. So don't do that. In case you put trust the process, put your believe in you, prepare for the exam, you will crack it. Next, uh, passing percentage. Passing percentage, I can say if you just go with their online module, passing percentage is maybe 30% because the given module is just high level videos. First level goers, they may not able to understand the concept. That's the one primary reason I started this. Is a good opportunity to teach free of cost. So if you attend this session or watch my videos, you will understand the concepts, then break down the questions. I do put some of the questions in between the session to break down how to read the question, how to eliminate wrong answers. Then that way, it would help you to develop that intelligence within you. So don't worry about passing percentage and all. If you trust, if you try to give that exam as they are giving free of cost, pass or fail doesn't matter. If you pass, you can utilize. If you fail, wait for another year and give another attempt continuously, practice. Or if you have money, you can pay $200 to take the exam any time. Even if you fail, within 72 hours or something, you can reappear with the but you need to pay with that $200 exam fee. So if you fail, then we can retake the exam. Yes, you can retake the exam. Only criteria, you need to pay the exam fee, that $200, or you can wait for 1 year to take the exam. Yeah. Okay, so Lokesh case is different. I'm asking this question because I was unable to enter the exam hall due to personal reason. Yeah, that happens. XYZ reason, delay, late. Yeah, I told you, right? The ID proof also one of the primary root cause. If you didn't enter exam hall, your ID proof is already registered. Maybe that record they may keep. So if you use another mail ID, that become a problem because your ID proofs already registered or anywhere. If not sure, you entered or what happened exactly. But if your palm scan, your ID proofs are entered in the system, your one-time fee attempt already taken, right? So now you can wait for another year. I mean, till January, then you can take fresh attempt with the same mail ID, same account. But I won't recommend to create another account because if you travel and end up having the same trouble, like let's say you have already utilized your ID proofs are linked, then that become a problem. Link to the mock test. Yes, definitely we'll share the link to the mock test. We have many online platform available. I will share the details. Most of them are free. Some of them you may need to pay, but I would recommend to go with the free one and practice as much as possible. Sir, for reschedule, charge anything? No, they won't charge anything. It's just 24 hours before you need to reschedule. If you reschedule within 24 hours, then you cannot, or there would be some penalty. But if you have enough time, you can reschedule. All right. I believe a lot of folks in this call already explored with the certification and you are in the preparation journey. I'm so happy that I may contribute in your learning plan to take that exam. So maybe you guys inspiring others to take the exam, as I recommend all the students to enroll the course, start the online module, then appear for the exam. So right. So now let's have let's start with the 5 minutes break, as I follow human psychology. Beyond 40 minutes our focus will distract. Go for a 5 minutes break and check your WhatsApp status, Instagram messages or Snapchat messages. Take a bio break and come back after 5 minutes. We'll have first lesson get started. I will cover a few important concepts today. All right. I put some effort from previous batches. So as this is fourth or fifth batch, as I conduct this with short number of people focused outcome, but this time the course last couple of batches reached more than 100 people enrolled for this course. Even today only 50 people shown up in this call. Maybe if they register for the course 100 people only showing up 50, just attendance ratio itself 50 percentage, right? So from previous batches, what I have learned, when you offer something free of cost, people may not realize the benefit, but there are people in working professionals who are aware of ISC squared, what they are doing, and the value of ISC squared certification. They would pick it up and they would complete the certification. Even there are students who are interested in cybersecurity. They would like to start the career in cybersecurity. They do join all the calls and they do follow up. They do ask doubt. They do follow me on LinkedIn and messaging me often. Even the thank you message after clearing the exam. Those things are keep them active. So don't hesitate if you run into any trouble or any questions over the journey, as I'm happy to help. You can reach me over LinkedIn or direct WhatsApp messages anytime. I can respond as soon as possible. So with that note, let's start with the security principles. That's the domain 1, which has 26% weightage. So out of 100 questions, 26 questions you may expect from this domain. Okay, this domain consists of multiple topics. So today we will cover security principles detail. So as I have experience with multiple learners, I just put mostly scenario and story based learning module, so that you will not get bored, you will not get track of outside, because I just tell you story and ask you to narrate or identify what would be the right answer, wrong answer. So it's not text based learning. You will experience different way of learning from this course. So without further ado, let's get started. Security principles. Let's say I have two companies, company A and company B. Both are doing e-commerce business. Okay, maybe the big company, they are taking online orders and delivering the things to your home. They do online e-commerce business. Company A and company B both are doing same business. Okay, now company A has a plan next 3 months, planning to buy another company. So they are trying to acquire another company to improve the business. That is their next 3 months plan. This plan discussed among the directors, and the directors put pros and cons in a single Excel sheet. Okay, that is company A is doing. What company B is doing, company B also e-commerce platform. Their revenue is around 1 crore. Next 3 months plan, they are planning to add quick delivery partner, evaluating 3 companies and pros and cons stored in Excel sheet. So company A and company B both are in e-commerce, both have some next 3 months plan, which is their future plan, right? Next 3 months, what they are going to do, that is the future plan. Here, among this group, take the chat and respond. What is that 3 months plan? Is that critical information? If that information leaked outside, what will happen? You just take the chat and respond. Maybe correct. There is no correct answer or wrong answer. Just to participate in the chat. Because they have 3 months plan. What is that data? If you are running a business, you have your future plan. What is that data? Come on, guys. Am I confusing you, or the question is not clear? All right, some other company might buy the ones company A is planning for B. It is not much for a concern. Okay, so in this example, uh, yeah, so there is one message states that ideas leaked to other companies, plans and ideas. Yes. So there are data that needs to be kept secret, right? Right. So risk of failure to roll out the growth plan and could be easily manipulated by competitors, right? Company B might try to buy the company shortlisted by company A, and company A might add quick deliver partner. Fantastic. Yeah, that's what happens. That's how real time works. This is not only suitable for a company. Let's say, you are planning to buy a land. You are talking that about talk that information about someone else. Maybe if they have money, they would, overcome you and buy that same land, right? There are situations the data needs to be kept secret. If that data leaked outside, the consequences, your business may interrupt, your business may impacted. The data leaked, the competitor may win the game, your business may lose or shut down, right? That's the primary reason information security in place. The information kept secret. Okay. In enterprise world or company world, when you graduated and go to a company, you are protecting that company data. You are hired to protect the company data. As a cybersecurity professional, you are hired to protect their information, their system. So, uh, you know, so once this information security, you understand the impact, then automatically you will identify how to protect. Now I put this two scenario, company A and company B, they are into same business. If company A data leaked to company B may take that information advantage and they may win the game. If company B aware of the company A's acquisition plan, then company B may, take the same route and win the market, right? So the ideas plan kept secret. So here I likely talk about security principle starts from information. That information could be your future planning of the business, your hiring plan, small information. It could be anything. It will not be always business plan only, right? Let's say you are expanding the team in Chennai. You have planned to hire 3 more people. If your competitor aware the company is expanding the business in Chennai, they may also start the business in Chennai and expand, right? So it could be anything, hiring plan, business expansion, or you are buying a loan from financial institute. All information within the company, must kept secret. Only the authorized people should access the information, relevant people. Not everyone access everything within the company, right? Like CEO may have access to certain data. Managers level people can access to some level data. The individual contributor role like security analyst or SOC analyst, people have access to relevant data. Not everyone has access to all the data, or vice versa, right? So that way, information is the key item we are going to protect as an information security professional. So second, I'm having a challenge again. Give me a second, guys. I'm having a challenge in the slide. All right. Now I think I fixed. All right. Information plays key role in the modern business, right? That I just explained with that simple example. Now information security. Now take the same example. One of the director from the company A who is evaluating 3 companies for acquisition, they wrote to the company or take the printout in a physical paper and throw it in a dustbin. What will happen? If that dustbin accessed to attacker or competitor, they get the data, right? So they are storing the information in paper. Now information can be stored in mobile phone. I can take the picture and keep it in gallery, or I can store it in a voice message as a voice note. I can store it in USB drive or hard disk, right? So multiple electronic medium can store the information. Next, information can be stored in transit. What is transit? Let's say I spoke to my friend over a WhatsApp audio note or a live call. The information transferred from person A to person B through voice call or audio call. Now I am communicating you through collaboration tool MS Teams, the audio call. If someone intercepted this call, they can get that information, right? So that's how the data can be stored in paper, electronic medium, or data can be in the transit. So now I come back to the same scenario, the example. We are trying to protect information or system, right? That is where the information security come into picture. This topic is talking about security principles. In security principle, first one is confidentiality. Okay, how confidentiality plays key role. Let's get started. So in confidentiality, only authorized individuals can access the resource. That is the statement you need to remember. If someone asks you confidentiality, only authorized individuals access that particular resource. In this example, the Excel sheet where company A put all the company details they are going to acquire or buy. Company B, they are evaluating quick delivery partner, right? That details kept in Excel sheet. Now this Excel sheet only granted access to only the relevant directors who are decision makers, because they are the one working together to take that decision for the company. If my office boy or some clerk in the office access that sheet, that confidentiality is no more exist, right? So only authorized individuals can access the respective resource. That is the confidentiality, right? Now this confidentiality might have some of the risk. Okay, we'll see the risk. The same example, one of the director took the printout about the plan that 3 companies they are evaluating to buy. Now that printout has that information. I mean, the physical paper has that information. They threw it away in the dustbin. That dustbin somehow reached the competitor or social network. They got that information about their future plan. Now, confidentiality broken, right? No more that is confidential. Company A, people talk about company A going to acquire any of these 3 companies. Maybe if they are publicly trading, their stocks may go jump. SBA, RBA or respective governing party may put a fine as they leaked the sensitive data before happen, because it is a public trading company. That company A plan will jeopardize or that may not happen because the confidentiality was broken. Now the source of the leak here is the printout, right? If that printout properly destroyed using a paper shredder, that will break the paper into pieces, right? That confidentiality kept secret, right? So paper shredder is the mitigation control for dumpster diving attack. What is dumpster diving? Attacker or competitor go and search your bin. It could be recycle bin or physical trash, right? You may print out and reveal that sensitive data in the trash bin. If the trash collector collect that information, somehow that reaches online or social media or competitor, confidentiality is breaking. So this is called confidentiality risk or threat to the confidentiality. Number 1, dumpster diving. I'm repeating this, dumpster diving. Many of them learning, you may know this technique, but dumpster diving is a new word you are learning today. So that stored in your memory. If anyone asks about dumpster diving, you must remember this slide with the paper shredder. Dumpster diving is nothing, someone collecting the information from dustbin or a waste bin or trash or electronically recycle bin in our systems and recover the data and use the data against you. That is called dumpster diving. To mitigate, you need to properly destroy the data. It could be physical paper or electronic medium. You need to destroy properly, right? That is called dumpster diving attack, mitigation, paper shredder. Next, two of the directors sitting in the airport lounge. They were loudly talking about their 3 months plan. There is another guy quietly sitting and listening all the conversation about their future plan. That guy from another competitor company. Now the data leaked. Now data leaked through the director. They are speaking that secret information in a public place. This is called eavesdropping. So when someone talks about their plan in an open area where other people may hide and listen or directly listen, then that is called eavesdropping. To fix that eavesdropping, strict policy in the place in the company. Board of directors or executives or higher authority people or anyone in the office, they shouldn't talk business information outside closed room or conference room. If there is a specific room allocated for company talk, you go and talk. People often, in the gym or while going walking, they speak loudly about their company plan. I might have heard many things in my real life. So don't be that victim, because if you start talking your company data outside, somehow not all the time are good for you. So sometime if any competitor or any sensitive data get leaked, that would backfire, that may impact your company performance in an indirect way. So that attack is called eavesdropping. To mitigate, employees are given proper training and strict policy to put in place to discuss only secret information, company related information in a closed conference room or office room to that meeting happen. If you are at home, close the specific room and talk about the sensitive information. If you are a decision maker one day, because you may start your career now, but if you are experienced, you may know what I am talking. If you are a decision maker for any specific process or a tool or a vendor, then you imagine, you are talking some sensitive information that must be kept secret. So this is called eavesdropping. Mitigation is, physical eavesdropping can be mitigated by closed office room and conference room. The reason I am keep pressing these words, you may see these words in your exam question. What is eavesdropping? How to mitigate eavesdropping? Among 4 options, you need to figure out which one is the correct answer. So this is called physical eavesdropping, because physically the directors present in the airport lounge and they talk. This is not always airport lounge. It could be public cafeteria or park or a gym or anywhere public. They speak loud and their plan get leaked. So next, electronic eavesdropping. This is not a case nowadays, but in traditional way, old telephones can be wiretapped. In the telephone wire, they put a clip kind of wires and they collect the binaries and decode the conversation, what person A and person B talking over the phone. So that is called electronics eavesdropping. To mitigate that, we can use encryption. Okay, so the nowadays the WhatsApp or whatever the audio call we are having, that is encrypting the message. If anyone trying to eavesdrop inline, that cannot be possible because of encryption. So encryption is the mitigation control for electronic eavesdropping. Electronic eavesdropping is nothing. It is just taking the data on the wire using clips or respective tools. They place the tool on the wire and they steal the data and decode person A and person B what they are talking. In old Hollywood movies, you might have seen people clip the wire and take the data, the decode and record the conversation. The police or intelligence people use that technology to hear that conversation between secret people, right? So that's called electronic eavesdropping. Mitigation is encryption. If person A and person B device encrypting and decrypting, if anyone taking middle, they get the encrypted data that is no longer useful. So that way encryption helps them to mitigate this control, this attack. So next, talking about social engineering, right? Social engineering can be multiple ways. For an example, one of the director from company A received a phishing email, pretend like CEO of the company. Okay, and he responded with the destination. This is an Excel sheet. Attacker successfully got the Excel sheet with the details. This is called social engineering. What's happening here? Go to company A. Company A going to buy a company. They are planning to acquire a company. 3 company they are evaluating. That data kept in the Excel sheet. Now I'm crafting an email as an attacker. I'm crafting an email from CEO mailbox. Looks like a mail ID. Hi, Mr. One of the director. You know, I need the decision making Excel sheet urgently. Please respond back within 10 minutes. Attach that Excel sheet in this email. The director in that hurry or that message is making urgency, the director attached that Excel sheet and sent back. He didn't validate the full email address, whether that is owned by CEO or not. This is one of the trick fall under phishing, but it originates from the social engineering. There is a target. The competitor is targeting the director and fooling them through the social media or email and get that data. Now the data leaked, right? That is impacting the confidentiality of the decision. So you just imagine this one of this example, we have this many problems, like the confidentiality can be broken with the social engineering, dumpster diving, right? So those methods and eavesdropping. So these methods are breaking the confidentiality. So these all fall under confidentiality risks, what we have today. So now to fix this confidentiality risk, social engineering, only the control is user education. If that trainer undergo security training, he might have validated the email address, whether that is a CEO mail address or not, or he might have picked the phone and dialed CEO. Are you really asking that data within 10 minutes? If he just validated, that attack may not successful, right? So user education is primary area to meet or mitigate social engineering, right? Next piece is integrity. Okay, we have so far we have seen confidentiality, how to break confidentiality. Confidentiality can be broken by dumpster diving, eavesdropping, social engineering. There is another one called snooping. Snooping is about just you kept unattended phone or kept unattended laptop with the sensitive data on your desk, or the door kept open, anyone come and see the monitor has that decision plan. That's called snooping. So snooping not in the slide. So snooping, dumpster diving, eavesdropping, social engineering. These four attacks break the confidentiality of the information. Okay. Also, I have explained all these four can be mitigated by respective technology. For example, dumpster diving, you can shred the paper so that the papers, bits and pieces, the information cannot be retrieved. Eavesdropping, encryption is the protection method. Social engineering, user education. The snooping attack, clean desk policy. Once you decision something on the whiteboard, you need to clean the board without leaving that. Before leaving the meeting room, you need to clean the board. So these all mitigation control for confidentiality risks. Now we'll talk about integrity. Integrity definition: information isn't altered without permission. There is an information the directors can modify. They are authorized people. If I go and modify the Excel sheet, then I am not authorized, right? The information isn't altered without permission. I don't have permission. That only the directors can update the Excel sheet, but somehow I modified the company B into some other company name. Now the data get altered without the permission. This is called integrity. The information isn't altered without right permission. Also, like confidentiality, we had dumpster diving, wiretapping, or eavesdropping, social engineering, or the other methods we have as a risk, right? Similarly, integrity also we have multiple risks. So unauthorized modification of information. I go to that Excel sheet I just modified. Now what will happen? The data get changed, right? I just replaced the pros and cons. I updated something, I come back. I didn't take any data, but I just did my work, just modified. Now, how that happens in real time? Let's say the director store that data in Google Doc sheet. The Google Doc has a privilege, right? Like the image I put, the screenshot. Anyone with the link can modify the data. If they set that permission, anyone can link the data, access the data as long as they have the link and modify the information without any permission. This is called maybe accidental error, or sometime auto permission get applied by the system without a director's awareness. Anyone else can access the sensitive data in the company, modify the data even. So to fix this problem, we need to follow least privilege. What is least privilege? You only give access to respective resources with minimum permission. If directors only can modify the data, others cannot access that Excel sheet or that specific workspace environment. That way, directors cannot expose the data to external world, right? So least privilege is the mitigation control for unauthorized modification of information. So integrity, the definition what we have seen, information isn't altered without permission. That is called integrity. The first risk for integrity, unauthorized modification. To mitigate that, you can use least privilege method. Minimum privilege we give to directors, so directors cannot share the data externally with this example. Anyone with the link can edit the document, they cannot set, because they only have editor option, they cannot share the data outside the company. If that least privilege is set, they cannot share it, right? This is just an example. You can imagine this with Jira or Confluence or GitLab repository, where when you are sharing the data, make sure you have right privilege. I mean, the least privilege you are giving to the respective people so that they cannot overshare or exfiltrate the data outside the company, right? This is called integrity risk. Next, impersonation. One of the director received a phone call, pretend like CEO of the company and urged to update the Excel sheet. So again, this is also type of a social engineering, but this time not a phishing email. One of the director received a call, the voice looks like a CEO, and they are talking over the phone asking that director to modify the data. The director also just following the CEO's statement and modified the data. Now, the data modified by the director but ordered by someone else through the external phone call, which pretend like a CEO. This is called impersonation. The attacker pretend like someone else and asking employee to do that task, complete the task. Now he's breaking the integrity, but in a way through director, but director not made that change on his own interest, ordered by someone else from the external party. So that is called impersonation. This is one example. Impersonation can happen, for example, the help desk or the people who reset the password, right? They receive a call and pretend like an employee and asking you to, my account get locked, can you please help to reset the password? If that help desk employee believe that that is my company employee asking for password reset and they help to reset the password, then they take over the account those incidents also happened in past. So impersonation is one of the primary attack in real time that breaks the integrity. So if there is a question about impersonation, how you will mitigate, right? Again, educating the user is the only option to mitigate the impersonation. If the director received a call, the director should validate is the received phone number is from CEO, or why CEO is calling over different number and asking immediately update the sheet. If he asked that question, maybe chances this attack may not successful, right? So impersonation is only controlled through user education. Next, man in the middle attack. Man in the middle attack, the attacker sits between the director and the application, the Excel sheet, and they take over the session and they update the data without the user awareness. I mean, the director not even aware. Director just log in to the system and start working, but attacker somehow took the session cookies or take over the session control and updating the data without the director awareness. So the attacker intercept the network traffic. The user is logging to the system and pretend to be that system. They then sit in the middle of the communication, relaying information between user and system and modify. So here, how integrity is breaking. The data is getting modified, but the director didn't do that actually. The director just logged in, somehow the attacker gained the access to that system or the session through the network traffic and modifying the data. So man in the middle attack can be mitigated through encryption or the clean security policy on the system, like installing antivirus or end-to-end encryption between the user and the application. So those are the areas where we can mitigate man in the middle attacks. Next, we have replay attacks. It is similar to man in the middle attack, but only difference is attacker never sits in the middle. Instead, attacker steal the credential or cookie information. Then attacker go to his system and use that hash or cookie to make a new connection to that application and modify the data. For example, director device got infected with the malware. That malware collected the director's user ID password or one-time password or MFA information to the attacker. Now attacker got the information to access the application, that Excel sheet, right? Now attacker used the credentials, the stolen credential, and attacking the application, modifying the data. Now replay attacks. In replay attack, attacker doesn't get in the middle of the communication, but observe the legitimate users log into the system. They capture the information used to log into the system. It could be password, it could be login hash, or it could be session information that can be used to establish the new connection from attacker side. So this is common attack, right? So people harvest the credential, then use that credential to log into the system and attack. All right, so replay attack is one type we need to understand. So replay attack also can be mitigated through strict security policy or antivirus installation. Keep the password policy, the password, and heavily tightened multi-factor authentication, like physical MFA, like a USB key type of MFA nowadays available, which is called FIDO2. Those security integration would help from stealing the information. Also short cookie time or session time will help to mitigate those type of replay attacks. So next in the security principle is availability. So far what we have seen, confidentiality and integrity. Third one is availability. Availability, the definition is information is available to authorized users when they need it. Come to the same example. One of the company A directors accessing that Excel sheet that has information about decision to buy new company, right? The acquisition. So the availability, the availability is talking about one of the director, if the login to the system and trying to access the Excel sheet, that sheet available for that director 24/7. Let's say user try to access in the morning, one of the director access to the application in the morning, 9 a.m. The application not coming up. It's an availability problem because you are not giving that availability. Availability also one of the security concern under security principle. Now the availability can be impacted by multiple factors. The factors given here, the risk factors: DOS attack, denial of service attack, power outages, hardware failures, destruction of equipment, and service outages. These all are the risks availability might have. Now we'll see that in the details. What is a DOS attack? DOS attack can happen if there is an online service multiple people accessing that application or attacking that application with broken TCP kind of a packets like SYN attack or SYN flood attack, kind of attack that will consume the CPU or memory of the load balancer become unavailable or into hung state. Hence, the correct user cannot access the application. This is called DOS attack. The denial of service attack can happen between competition or nation state attack. India getting attacked by Pakistan or Russia or Korea, because when war situation happens between countries, one country attack other countries' web applications. So those time, what will happen in this attack? Maybe impact the availability. Let's say I have an e-commerce application which is company A is hosted, very big e-commerce platform in India. Now that e-commerce platform attacked by Russian hackers, they are sending floods of packets to that web page. The web page struggling to load because that is receiving the attack from the Russia, and they are trying to the application trying to respond, but the load balancer went into hung state. Maybe 4 hours that couldn't respond properly. The engineer started working to fix the problem. That 4 hours is the availability problem. This is happening real time. You can see during India-Pakistan war, the Operation Sindoor, Pakistan start attacking our government applications. Many companies' web pages under attack. So those called DOS attack, that primarily happens between nation to nation attack or between competitive situation. For example, the e-commerce platform may announce big billion sale. During that time, the competitive companies hire the hackers and send loads of traffic to the web page and become unavailable, so that common people cannot buy, and that will disrupt the business. That's the motive: money or nation power, winning the market. These are the motive behind a DOS attack that will impact the availability. So I'm just following this in the flow. Confidentiality, integrity, availability. Availability, first one is DOS attack. DOS attack can impact the availability. Next, power outages. Power outages, as we are serving web application, nowadays everything is in web app, right? Like your online portal, your online ordering system, payment gateway, everything is in web application. What is web application? There is a physical system running behind web application, right? So when there is a physical system that is powered by electric power, that electric power come from government power grid or UPS or generator. If these three sources not available, definitely you cannot run the web server, right? That is the deep, clean story. If you are running electronic business through website or serving some online services, you have to procure power some way. So the primary power outage scenario, if entire nation has power grid attack, government unable to provide you power for 3 days, 4 days due to attack, cyber attack or a flood kind of a situation, then your business will suffer. Similarly, once government grids are not able to support you or are not available, then you have generators. You can pour, the diesel-based generator or petrol engines that can be used to generate the power, right? That is alternative source. Primarily, they keep it in data center. Next, they may have the battery backup, like we call it as UPS, right? So those systems power up the servers. This can be one of the reason. If all three sources not available, you cannot serve the availability. Your server may go down. When user access, the application not available. So it will impact the availability. So next, hardware failure. Let's say you have a physical server that has a fan, that cooling fan suddenly stopped working, the temperature rised, and your server rebooting every 2 hours. Possible, right? So hardware failure can happen. Your RAM can break or the hardware can be broken, but only the mitigation control is you need to keep redundant server. Keep 3 servers or 4 servers. If one fails, rest 3 will serve. If 2 fails, rest 2 will serve the traffic. That's how redundant systems built. Nowadays, within the hardware itself, if you take one server, 2 power supply will come. If one power supply fails, another power supply will help. comes with 2 fans. If one fan fails, another fan will take care. Comes with multiple RAM and redundant processors, so that the redundancy built in within the server. So those kind of redundant systems used in the data center to mitigate availability risk in terms of hardware failures. Next, destruction of equipment. If there is an unauthorized guy enter the data center, suddenly plugging all the cables and breaking the servers, that is a mass destruction, right? Like your business will going to suffer. Somehow the intruder broke into data center, so data center might have extra security protection. No one can enter data center unless specific approvals made or specific purpose of the work defined in advance. Only then they will enter the specific data center. That's how destruction of equipment may impact the availability. Then service outages. Nowadays everything is cloud. If there is a cable cut in North America or Middle East undersea cable cut, that will impact your services, because your services are relying on US or Europe. The servers are hosted in respective data center in other countries. Now when you access through cloud or online, your service may not be available. Then service outage impact the availability. Let's say you are hosting servers in Microsoft hosted servers in America. You are connecting from India, the undersea cable cut in the Middle East. There is no way to connect, or alternative way takes more time, more latency. Then service outages will impact your availability. So these all are the key threats or impacts related to availability. So far we have seen security principles and respective threats. Now come to this CIA triad. So I didn't put this diagram first, because if I put first, you will think about what is confidentiality, integrity and availability. Now I put last. You have learned confidentiality and respective threats, integrity and respective threats, availability and respective threats. So now you can organize in your mind this CIA triad is called security principles. In information security principles having these 3 key concepts: confidentiality and integrity and availability. So this is the primary learning today. We'll cover identity and the access control, as well as non-repudiation today as well. So we have 30 more minutes. So non-repudiation, for example, you agreed to buy a car after 4 months. You made a contract. I will buy that car after 4 months for 5 lakh rupees. You made a contract. You have written a statement and you signed with your signature and given to the the seller. Seller also signed. What you are making is a contract, right? Why you are making that contract in advance? There are business situation. Because if you didn't make the contract, the seller can sell that car into someone else. But you are making sure, I will buy the car after 5 months with this 5 lakh rupees. I am agreed to pay. You are giving your consent over signature. Here, after 2 months, you cannot deny the fact, because you written and you have signed your physical signature. That act as a repudiation, right? Like here, non-repudiation means denying the fact. After 2 months, if you go and tell the seller, hey, I don't want that car, I cannot make you payment, maybe the seller may take legal step against you to take you to the court or a police to get the justice served, because you agreed, you signed, the seller was waiting, not selling to anyone else. Suddenly you change your mind and you are denying, I didn't do that, or breaking that promise, right? So now non-repudiation is a term, means that denying that something is true. It was true, but you are denying. So that is repudiation. Non-repudiation, you cannot deny the truth, right? So now in mitigation, for example, there was an employee came to office afternoon. He broke something in the office, went to home. Next day, when there was an investigation committee and asked that employee, that employee was denying the fact. He was saying, I didn't even come to the office. Now, how to prove that? CCTV footage, or if there is a biometric sensor available in the door entrance, these all are the records. You cannot deny the fact. So that's where non-repudiation plays key role in the cybersecurity. So you cannot deny. You enter the data center, you put your access card on the door access, or you put your fingerprint, you enter the data center, you did some mistake, something bad happened, you cannot deny the fact. Because here, to maintain the non-repudiation, there are systems in place like biometric, CCTV footage, or identity access in the entry door. These all are fall under non-repudiation controls. So non-repudiation is one of the topic you should aware of. So non-repudiation can be mitigated through signature, digital signature, CCTV, and biometric finger or facial recognition sensors. So let's switch the topic. Next topic is authentication and authorization. As an IT professional, one of the most important things to do to ensure that only authorized individuals gain access to the information. It could be information, it could be application, or it could be office access. Only authorized person can enter to respective office premises or respective application. Now, access control. Take that example. Shivani is an employee working in company A. Okay, just a normal employee working in company A. Company purchased some application and given to access. But company purchased 4 applications, but only Shivani has 3 application access. SAP, Microsoft, and Jira. The first 3 applications she has access. The Gmail she doesn't have access to. Okay, that's how company given the permission. Now, Shivani is the user. When Shivani access SAP application, Shivani is authenticated and access granted. Then Shivani can access. When Shivani access Gmail, Shivani authenticated, access blocked because company didn't give access to Gmail. Shivani work doesn't require Gmail. She has Outlook access. She may maintain the mail over Outlook, right? So this is primarily based on access control. You can achieve respective resources restricted through access control. This is only for application. If you take office premises or office building or office campus, the access managed through access control policy. Let's say you hired for Chennai, you travel to Mumbai and try to access the Mumbai office. Your company has both a branch, Mumbai and Chennai. Now, if you didn't obtain necessary permission and access control in Mumbai office, you cannot enter into Mumbai office because access control clearly defined you have access to Chennai office. Okay, so that's how application access control also maintained list of applications granted to respective users and permissions are maintained. This is in access control. In access control, there are 3 primary topics which is called AAA. Okay, which is called AAA. Authentication, authorization, and accounting. So these 3 topics we should aware of. So next we'll talk about these 3 topics. First, authentication. Before go to authentication, we need to identify who the user is. So identification is part of authentication. Don't get confused where identification come into picture. You just remember AAA: authentication, authorization, and accounting. These 3 fall under access or authorization control. So now identification, when consider Gmail, how Gmail treats Shivani. Gmail has multiple users. When Shivani tried to access, she put her user ID, Shivani, password. Now Gmail checks, no, Shivani was not granted access, deny the access, right? So Gmail, for Gmail, Shivani is one of the user. To identify who the user is, Gmail is using Shivani's user ID. Maybe user ID has Shivani is the name, or user IDs could be an email or some identification parameter that used to identify who is Shivani, right? Now we identified who is Shivani. Shivani doesn't have Gmail access. Let's say examples, SAP application. Shivani tried to access SAP application. She entered the credential. Now SAP validates and confirms Shivani's grant access. Authentication successful. Shivani able to access the SAP application. That's where identification plays key role. Application should identify who the user is, or office building should identify who you are, or respective data center should identify who you are by maybe door access card or respective ID or biometric like fingerprint or iris scan or facial recognition that will identify who you are. So identification is one of the key, part during authentication. So during first step of the process, identification, an individual makes a claim about the identity. So Shivani here trying to show the identity through her user ID. Next, authentication. Let's say Gmail identified Shivani is the user. Now Gmail is integrated with identity and access management. It could be Entra AD or Okta or Gmail itself. They create user ID and password. The user should enter the user ID and password. The both should match in the database. Then only Gmail will grant the access. This is applicable for any application. If you take SAP or Office 365 or Jira or GitLab, user go and access, they put credential, it go to respective database in the application and validate is the user and entered the password is correct or wrong. If it is correct, authentication successful. If it is additional parameter added like multi-factor authentication or one-time password or OTP, mobile OTP, then that is followed, and once it is successful, user granted access to the application. Here what is happening, the process is called authentication. Authentication, the statement is proofs comes into play during the second step of the process, authentication. During the authentication step, the individual proves their identity to the satisfaction of the access control system. The satisfaction here come into picture with user ID and password and MFA. Okay, if these three things matches, user granted access. So this is as part of second step in the access control process, which is called authentication. Okay, now authentication is completed. Now authorization. Let's say SAP application has multiple sub application. For example, HR application, business application, the technical people draw something that is called a different application. But all they go to access SAP, respective application get redirected based on the authorization. I mean, Shivani is part of HR team. Shivani only has access to HR application in the SAP, but the other users may have other application under the SAP application, depends on their role in the company. Now Shivani is part of HR department. Shivani accessed SAP application, entered her credential, all matched. Now Shivani user information is available, right? Shivani identified. Shivani is from HR department. Now SAP application authorized to only access HR related application in SAP. This is called authorization. So just proving your identity isn't enough to gain access to the system. However, the access control system also need to be satisfied that you are allowed to access the system. So SAP administrator written a rule to allow Shivani to only access HR related application. She cannot access business data or other department data within the SAP. So same goes to Office 365. In Office 365, there are multiple applications: MS Teams, SharePoint, Outlook, the flow automation. So many other tools applicable under O365 or Office 365. Administrator grant access based on the department. You are part of, mostly everyone get Outlook access, but Microsoft Teams or other applications based on your role and department. Once it is needed, then only they grant the access based on your user ID. So there is an access control they put in within the application to grant you access. As many people came from development or student background, for example, take GitLab as an example. In GitHub or GitLab, you have multiple projects. The respective project you can grant access to your colleague or your friend. Only they can access, others cannot access. So you can make it public, but only respective people can access. If you put restriction in that rule, right, that is called authorization. So they go and access GitLab, they get authenticated against GitLab, but when they click your project, they only see your project, the others cannot see your project. That is called authorization. So this authorization taken care by respective application administrator, but that plays key role in cyber security, because you are not oversharing the data with any people. The least privilege is given. Only respective department people can access respective resources within the system. So next, accounting. Accounting is part of AAA, right? So in accounting, in addition to identification, authentication, authorization, account access control system also provide an accounting functionality that also administrations to track users activity and reconstruct it from logs. This is nothing, just recording who accessed what application at what time frame. This is for investigation purpose or tracking who has access to my application. For example, in your company, all employees accessed HR system in SAP. That could be a mess, right? Because only HR should access. If everyone get access, something broken, the access control broken or application not properly configured, that's why everyone got access to sensitive information. Imagine the incident. For example, when I access my payslip, instead of my payslip, my colleague Karthik payslip seen in my portal, what will happen? I have access to someone else payslip, which is a confidential data which I have access to. That create unnecessary trouble in the company, right? So if there is a proper control in place, my name is Mohammed Ismail, I have access to only Mohammed Ismail payslip. I shouldn't access others payslip or other system. So that's where accounting plays major role. What I have accessed get logged in the logs. Mohammed Ismail logged in from XYZ public IP address, and what time, what application, what he has accessed, that get logged in the system and monitored. Similarly, in this example, Shivani accessed, let's say Gmail access blocked, and public IP is this, and the timestamp is this. If she accessed any allowed application, Shivani accessed SAP application at today's date and specific time, stamp, and access granted or not, that get logged in the accounting. So this is for investigation or a triaging purpose, also used to monitor whether we have set the access control properly or not. So with that, I come to the conclusion of this session. So open the floor for questions. Feel free to unmute and ask if any questions. Otherwise, I will take the questions from the chat first. All right, there is a question about how many attacks comes under social engineering attack like phishing. So very good question. Social engineering not only limited to phishing, right? It can be phishing, quishing, even the SMS through wishing. So many forms of social engineering available, even with the help of artificial intelligence now. Deep fake videos, the calling feature, clone the voice of the your known people. Those all also fall under social engineering. Even one, I give you one simple example. If someone pretend like me and keep my photo as a profile picture in Google Pay and ask all of you to pay some money, I'm in a trouble and I need some amount, maybe out of 100 people, maybe 10 or 11 people may respond with the money, right? So social engineering doesn't have limit, it's keep growing. But in exam perspective, it is limited to phishing, the help desk support call through voice. So limited concepts you can prepare. You don't need to prepare much wider. But when it comes to CISSP or advanced certification, you may need to cover, even advanced topics like deep fake videos or voice cloning, etc. Okay, Lokesh was asked, MITM, and in the middle attack is already breaching the confidentiality as unauthorized intruder receiving the information, then how? So, man in the middle attack was fall under integrity, right? So it was unauthorized person modified the information. It was talking about only modification, but you are right. Even confidentiality can break by MITM. So there are attacks may fall under both the categories, confidentiality as well as integrity. MITM is one. Also social engineering is another one. Social engineering also can be, data can be taken out, confidentiality can be broken. Also, integrity, if social engineering take over the session and modified the data, integrity can be broken. So this is based on the scenario, but in exams perspective, they will give you clear scenario and you can easily take out the questions. So now, if there is no questions, let's move on. One second, let me bring the chat. I'm having, all right. Okay, we are entering the era of decentralized identity. How do the security mechanism of IEEE helps ensure the CAA triad? Any real world example would be helpful to explain, please. So decentralized identity and passwordless identity are very common nowadays. Not decentralized identity is so popular as compared to centralized identity. Still, if you take Fortune 500 companies, they all become customers of Microsoft Entra ID or Okta. What they are doing, centralized identity. That is proven record that someone can manage centrally. But see, decentralized identities become available, for example, using blockchain and other technology can be used to control the authentication, but still respective risk assessment to be followed based on the sector or business. If there is any success story that can be referred, if any company successfully migrated from centralized to decentralized, the case studies to be assessed. But with this approach, nowadays I could still see a lot of opportunities for centralized identity through Entra ID or Okta, but decentralized identity is still maybe a concept where companies are exploring, but not big Fortune 500s. Maybe it started with a few startups where they couldn't afford centralized identity. Do you share the recordings of the session of the video? Yes, definitely. It may take some time as I need to get it from the Microsoft to publish the video. Probably after, probably tomorrow evening, I will make it in your mailbox. All right, everyone, if this session is useful and you have learned something new also about this certification is new, that's really great. In case you like to give me any feedback, if I am going slow or fast or anything to be updated, I'm open to your feedback as well. So feel free to unmute and say something if you wish to. Else we'll wrap in next 2 minutes. All right, so the preparation materials, yeah, I will try to share the information available. There are a lot of people written about materials available in public medium like GitLab or YouTube primarily. There are multiple trainers like me. They posted heavy contents. I will try to summarize the material and send it to you all. All right, so we'll come to the end. Probably looks like I maintained the time well today, reached on time. So with that note, let's conclude today. We'll see you next week with the remaining topic under domain 1. We'll complete domain 1 within next week. So for you, the action item, right? You need to go to ISC Squared website, register, start the online modules. That's your homework. This is not just a weekend session. You need to work on your day-to-day learning plan so that you can complete within 6 weekends. All right. With that, thank you everyone for joining today. Bye-bye.